Never Split the Party. We are playing Paizo Starfinder tonight. I know last week we were doing something else, and next week we'll talk about what's going on then. But this is Starfinder, so you are back with the mostly harmful crew. We've got our rapscallions. I'll have introduce themselves in just a little bit. This is the second episode of season 3, titled Mr. Mister. If you want to catch up on what the heck happened in episode 1, you can check it out on our YouTube at bit.ly/neveryoutube. If you want to see what happened in seasons 1 and 2, you can always check out that YouTube, or most of those episodes are now on our audio channels, which you can find anywhere you find podcasts. Just search for Never Split the Party podcast.
Now that intro's over, hey, we need to switch things.
We're also on the wrong overlay. Da, 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 da.
That's for editing.
All right.
So,
what do you need us to do, J-Man?
We got to go to the new overlay.
I think Nick and Patrick need to do it.
This one?
I'll let you know when I can see it.
We're all over the place.
That's the one.
Yep.
All right, that's the new one. I don't love the background anymore. I'm going to change it again. Sorry, Justin.
I was going to say, it's a little bright. I like the darker one better.
Yeah,
that's why I thought that was what we were
I
using.
didn't make the other one.
A good thing Nick didn't do the thing we gave him 2 weeks
that just doesn't have Miller on it. That's the difference. Okay. I was wondering what the difference was.
Now, who needs to make their windows go away?
Why don't we just redo it? Well, actually, just Chris
we're
and
good.
Dustin. Yeah, Chris and Dustin
Yeah, me and
are
Dustin.
off.
Do I need to close mine?
Gosh,
That means everybody.
we are so professional here.
I think it goes Dustin, Chris.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
Now me.
And I.
So I hope you enjoyed this little sneak peek into the production of Never Split the Party. This is what we do every week before we start.
Except we just spent the last half hour gossiping and not actually doing anything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
I wasn't around, that's why.
Yeah, Justin wasn't there doing his job. That's okay. My name is Dustin. I go by the Arbitrary Nerd. I'm the GM for this evening and most evenings, and I'll let my lovely crew and Patrick introduce themselves.
We don't have an order.
No, we changed it. Remember, Justin goes first.
Oh, I go first this time? Hi, I'm Justin. I play Seeker, the Android Technomancer, and I'm not doing a very good job technomancing at the moment. In real life, because I screwed up.
One, thanks.
Yeah, I screwed up our overlay and everything in Twitch, so. But yeah, that's me. And I'm part of the Indecision, and that's all that it is. Just the Indecision, nothing else. I don't care about Sheerkat, even though I didn't hate Sheerkat, so, I mean, whatever. That's it. That's it for me. That's mine. I'm done.
Is that me next?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I'm Chris, and I play Miller 3 Top, best Durkin engineer in this side of the galaxy.
Once gone, back again. Can't get rid of the pest. Rodent. They're the same thing, right?
Durkin pest.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'll just assume I'm next. And I am Michael, and I play Zero, the android operative. The ship's pilot most of the time.
Yeah, but now you're a mecha piloting badass, so, yeah.
Who can't miss against the enemies you put us up against.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. I'm still working on that. You leave me alone. Patrick,
Oh, I thought I went after Nick.
stop thinking.
Patrick, I was told stop thinking, play Ray Shorin.
That's for your next character.
Yeah, Punchman Jr.
He just plays. That's just Patrick playing himself.
Never on camera.
Hi, guys. I'm Nick.
man.
I play Dren. He's Marikoy Solarian, and that's it.
All right. For announcements, again, we're still doing the every other week cycle for our Tuesday nights for a little while. And next week, we are going to be playing Star Wars, The Old Republic, the MMO. It's at least 4 of us. I guess you guys could jump in and hang for the most part, but we'll be doing it sort of semi in character, not in these characters, but we're going to be getting into the role play as much as we can with the MMO. And Chris refuses to play because he'll get addicted, and we haven't talked to Patrick because Patrick's a ghost. I don't think he exists outside of Tuesday nights. And even then, some Tuesday nights, he doesn't exist. If you guys want to talk about that, you can check us out in our Discord, bit.ly/neverdiscord. Otherwise, you can hang out at the after party, which is going to be at 10:30 p.m. tonight. And we'll just be talking shop about what's coming up next and what happened in this episode if we need to. That's it for my announcements. Do you guys have anything?
Nope.
No.
Wunderbar. For a quick recap, we had a bit of an explosive mech combat. We played with our super fast and loose mecha combat rules. The party took on a superior numbered force. They managed to capture an enemy during this combat when they defeated the rest of the enemy mechs, and that turned out to be Mister, who is also known as Boremi Jason. He is a drow that previously sold drugs to Seeker. That was early on in season 1, and was later found out to be working in conjunction with kind of the big bad guy, Derlith Gerson. He's the current head of the Triumvirate and took over the Packles. All that fun stuff. That's all last season stuff. Don't worry about that. They also uncovered 2 things. One, Miller had returned at the start of the combat piloting his mech, except he looks all sorts of messed up. And then they also discovered that on the kind of asteroid where they encountered Mister, kind of where they captured him, they also found that one of his slave laborers was in fact Dustinian, one of the space pirates they had encountered in the Diaspora when they first met the folks from the mothership. He had gone missing and had been missing for about 8 months at that point. All right, anything that I missed recap wise?
Where did we actually leave off?
We hand waved it because we were running out of time. I had you guys. You pulled Mister outside of his spaceship. He is now in a room you have fashioned as a brig on the. Oh God, what do we call it? What's the new ship's name? Sheercat's.
The Indecision.
The Spirit of Sheercat.
Spirit of Sheercat.
Spirit of Sheercat.
Formerly the Indecision.
Formerly
Correct. That is the full name.
Yep. The Spirit of Sheercat. You have you fashioned one of the rooms into a brig, and currently you have Mister interred there. You did not stop to interrogate him. You landed on the asteroid. You guys weren't really sure what you were looking for. You were kind of sent there with an urgent mission from Laris, commander of the pirates. And you found that there was some slave laborers that had been mining materials and resources. And most important of these, or at least as far as he's concerned, Dustinian approached you guys. So you are currently landed on the asteroid. You have Dustinian in tow, and you've got Mister locked up on your ship. And I'm going to let you guys take it up from there. You can go in whichever direction you would like.
What are we doing with the rest of the slaves?
I'd say that there's probably a decent amount, maybe even. So it's a larger asteroid. The Diaspora has pieces and chunks of all shapes and sizes. I'd say there's probably close to 100 prisoners that were on this planet, Dustinian being one of them.
Were there other ships or anything like that?
No, in fact, it looks like the only ship that was really there was the one that you guys intercepted Mister on, which has some massive damage due to the combat you guys had. I believe it was Seeker's mech started tearing into it. I could be wrong. I know it was one of you guys. Okay.
We only have the Spirit of Sheercat with us.
You basically only have the Spirit of Sheercat. However, you are in the Diaspora, which is the basically the backyard of the pirates, so they're more or less a phone call away. They were running diversionary tactics to make sure you guys got into this secret facility, unmolested.
Do we have a Pat? You're muted. Do we have a like a number for like a go-to of refugee, like transportation, other than us being the main force?
Yeah, I would say you guys wouldn't use the Spirit of Sheercat as transport because it doesn't fit that many people. You'd be making a bunch of trips. Basically, if you just put a call in and let the pirates know that the defenses are down, that's about 100 people that are potential new recruits for your little rebellion that you're growing. So I would say that's not a bad feel. In fact, which one of you wants to be, I'm assuming it's going to be Miller, which one of you wants to be the kind of rebellion manager, keeps track of your force? Yeah, okay.
The person who's going to write it down on a piece of paper, he'll never lose.
Well, not only is Chris, the player, the best suited for it, it is actually Miller's passion. Miller's passion is running this rebellion. I know Rye is the face of the rebellion, and that's by design. But honestly, Miller for the past 8 months, 8-ish months, that's not actually a great timeline, but in the past timeline that he's been missing, a lot of it has been spent kind of developing this rebellion into something after he had that encounter that messed up his face, which you guys still haven't talked to him about yet. So there's some talking you guys have to do with Miller as well.
But we haven't been able to talk to him yet, so.
You're all on the planet. Do what you want.
All right. So we get down to the planet, and immediately, when Seeker and everybody else gets out of their mechs, Seeker runs over to Miller and, my Miller, I you're alive! Yeah. And he gives him a big hug. Give him a big hug.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. We're alive. Yeah.
I'm so happy to see you.
Oh, it's good to be back there, Shema.
Okay, I'll put you down now. Boop.
Woo.
Have a
How exactly do these mechs come into a landing? Because
I would say you guys would have probably put them back aboard the Indecision, the Spirit of Sheerkat. You have a module that you guys detach and attach as necessary that houses the mechs. The mechs themselves don't do so well in gravity, but I'll be honest, the exterior of this little asteroid probably doesn't have that much gravity anyways. You guys are fine probably landing on the surface this time around. But
Okay.
traditionally, planetfall is not something capable of your mecha.
Right.
They would burn up in atmo.
I'm assuming. Oops, sorry.
No, I was just curious because I think mine only has a single leg left.
Oh.
That's right.
It's just hopping to keep balance.
So-
yeah.
It doesn't
I'm
have a leg
assuming-
to stand on.
I'm assuming
Jeez.
that I've left the Spirit of Sheerkat.
Yeah. You guys will have, as a party, landed on the asteroid because you guys are together just in case there's resistance on the planet itself.
So
Easy.
what's
I walk
with
up
the-
to Miller.
What's with the fancy hat?
Yeah, I walk up to Miller
Mm.
and firmly poke the growth.
Oh gosh.
It
I would do that?
it wriggles a little like it's doing on my face right now because I can't keep it in one place like that.
I
Except-
removed it. Everyone, we're good.
actually like stuck in
Miller
my-
dies.
You actually just
Yeah.
revealed that half of his skull's missing.
Yeah. It kind of like wriggles and whatnot and kind of blinks one of its eyes. It's like, freak.
We
Hey,
can get
Cat?
you a hat.
What's going on?
We can get you a hat. I can.
That is a hat.
It's, sorry, we don't understand what you're talking about. This is me now, bud.
with the
Confused
hat.
with a hat?
We put a hat on you.
This here. Oh, you remember Phyllis, right? Phyllis kind of shakes his tail.
No.
Don't like
I
that.
don't remember what they're called, but that enhancement you got
I gotta fix
way
that.
back in season 1.
The symbiote?
Yeah.
Yes. The symbiote has been with me since season 1.
It was originally much smaller and less visible, but this is now a bigger, more prominent feature to Miller's facial region.
I
Yeah.
gotta ask, how many charisma points did you lose with that thing protruding from your head?
I don't know. Dustin didn't say anything, so I still have a 13 charisma. So.
That's still more than me.
So I will say that in Starfinder, having people look weird doesn't really amount to much because there's so many aliens of varying shapes and sizes, and 13 isn't a massive charisma. So I will say there's no significant change.
Yeah, put it on my head. I'm gonna put it on my head. Yay!
He now has better connection to the alternative crowd. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
One by
But Miller just kind of speaks up. Yeah, Ram. We had a bit of an accident.
So
How are things with Trellis?
yeah,
Eh,
I guess that's a good transition.
well, that's one of the reasons why we're like this. Well, as you can imagine, Krellis is pretty good at the job. You know, that's what they get paid for. And chased us down, found me, shot me in the face, and somehow I survived.
So your buddy Sal didn't help you out at all then, did he?
Well, yeah, he did. He kind of dragged us out of there.
Did he have to drag that part too?
We were a bit incomplete then.
Yep, well, someone opened a door. And then,
So
No, I think that was more of a window.
oh, okay. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
but that doesn't explain the hat. I mean, Phyllis.
Well, Phyllis decided to take over the void in our face.
Oh.
And using the memories of our
I'd say stop trying, bud.
our TI 75, we were able to back up and restore many, at least 80% of our memories.
I hope all of mine are still in there.
Oh,
Who are
yeah.
you?
Then you must remember Dren, right?
Look at Zero making fun of the disabled. Good on you, you silly android.
Friend's not that disabled.
Listen, cybernetic legs are fully functioning okay.
No, he's just gross and slimy.
Oh, he is gross and slimy. Ugh.
I am.
It's a condition.
We are kind of intrigued as Miller kind of pokes at the Mirakoi. Kind of gets a little bit of goop on the fingers. Kind of.
Yeah, I'm still working on that. Kind of different.
That's quite interesting. Makes you stand out a little. I like it.
I kind of just like do a little shake a little bit, like
I know.
splashes off.
Hey, we could probably weaponize it.
While this conversation's going on, Dustin, I'm just like looking disturbed at the side of Miller's face. Not sure which one's the uglier side, but I'm trying to figure that out. And the entire time, I'm just like,
Phyllis
I'm just
actually
typing
trains
into-
one of its eyes just at you. Just keep it.
Oh gosh, this is Parasite now.
and I'm just typing in like back to base, like we're good. You can come now.
I was going to say, you were going to tell them to come pick up the now refugees.
Yeah, that's what I'm texting as
Yeah, I'll say it's during this interaction that you guys are kind of going through files and you're going through the workers, and the flowing hair of Dustinian appears. And last week he said he expected you sooner, and that's what we'll pick up. So you've got Miller half face.
Miller 3 top.
Sorry, Miller 3 top. You've got Dustinian, and you guys have a pickup en route. You get a like a mechanical voice over one of your calls. Comes back and says, "Yeah, we're wrapping up here. We would recommend you clear out soonish, but we'll make sure we hit asteroid on our way out and pick up those survivors."
Did we or can we try to go through the wreckage of the mechs to pick up any basic weapons?
I don't believe these ones were carrying any weapons, were they? Because they were all using melee weapons. Sorry, they were all using melee weapons against you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Probably correct.
Yeah, I don't recall what my reasoning was for only giving them melee weapons, but they were not equipped with explosives. I'm going to say that maybe the resources that are on this asteroid are too important for explosive weapons. So as of right now, you do not have so. I will give a bit of a spoiler. Part of what you can use your forces for is to enact missions that would otherwise be too big or just kind of inconvenient for you guys. So if mecha weapon acquisition is something you wanted to maybe run, we could talk about that when you have kind of gone back to base, basically. But for now, the mecha you guys have encountered mostly destroyed debris floating through space. I'll say that on their pass by through, the pirates will see what's salvageable, but I don't expect it to be anything useful to you guys directly.
How about anything that we can say fix Dren's mech? Because he did a great job piloting it.
Yeah, I'd say you'd be able to get enough repair parts to fix Dren's mech, which is missing both arms and a leg. Yeah.
Yep. These things work great.
As
All the other ones are basically all perfectly intact.
yeah, I don't think anyone took any other damage, did they?
I think I may have lost one arm.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, as long as you guys are in a place where you're able to salvage pieces, I will say you're able to enact repairs. If there's ever a situation where you don't have the ability or the time to pick up the pieces of broken machines, that's when you will run into issues. But for the most part, when the pirates come through and they clean sweep the 100 or so prisoners, they can do a bit of scouring through the orbit to pick up those pieces and bits.
This is a bit of a really gross image.
Yeah, because
But-
yeah, I know what you're gonna say. Go for it.
No, you don't. I'd be very surprised if you knew what I was going to say.
You're not talking about you being in your G Gundam suit.
No,
Oh, okay.
but it does have something to do with the ooze.
Yep. Yeah.
So, like, I'm just constantly producing this, right?
Yes. You're basically. Have you seen Dr. Horrible sing along blog?
Of course.
You're moist.
Yeah. I hope. I want to know the faces of the people who go into the bathroom after me.
Wow, you're saying you don't clean up after yourself? That's great.
I do, but I'm not wiping the inside of the bowl.
I don't know why
Yeah,
this is
like
the
the seat.
tangent you've chosen to take, especially if you've been slimy for 8 months, you disgusting freak. However, again, it's a lot of aliens out there. There are slimy creatures. Before they all went extinct, there was even races of slugs that would have been probably somewhat similar. Yeah,
I guess that's right.
so while
It's new to me, okay?
I would say any Marikoi, like if you go to like the Marikoi only bathroom, they think you're a goddamn degenerate from upcountry, and they don't.
They have species specific bathrooms.
I mean, I'm just mean if you go to like the Marikoi bar, like local in the diaspora that hangs out with all your space monkey pirates. Yeah, I'm going with that. They'd probably be quite disgusted. In fact, your whole visage right now is unappealing to them. I will say, in terms of dealing with your own race, you're probably taking hits, like background invisible hits to charisma.
Yeah, that's fair. They're pretty they don't like different.
Yeah, and you look significantly different. You just look like a sweaty, and then really sticky Marikoi.
I was wondering if the slime was colored or not.
I do feel
like
like
green
it's
slime.
mucus colored.
Yeah,
I feel
I've
like it's
been-
mucus colored.
I've been envisioning like green.
Yeah.
Gross.
Better not purple. We could call you Ivan.
I don't, okay, yep, everything about you is horrifying, and I hate it. I don't
Gotta get the new power forces to take care of you.
Or can you an all pointed Dren?
All right. What are you guys doing? What would you like to do next? For new
Have
folks
we
to talk
talked to
to,
Justinian yet?
not in any significant amount, no.
Alrighty.
Wow,
do
this
that.
is a face that I kind of recognize. Mostly the hair.
Oi, there's a bit of the face Oi recognize as well. Mostly the furry half. But yeah, you know what? I don't care. You all are here. That's all I've been waiting for. We can get on out of here.
What's his response to Dren?
Oh, that's fair. He looks over to the slimy Marikoi and he says, "Oh, we remember you. If I'm not mistaken, it was your lot that caught us and sold us. Get how much? Tell me how much? It was a lot, right?
No, not for me. Not enough.
Well,
you just
don't
don't
you mean
make
nothing?
friends anywhere you go, do you?
I'm pretty sure you were free, Justinian.
What happened?
You were free.
Free from?
Dren got nothing.
Free. Oof. Well, I'm not
You
sure
know
I
how
like
I-
being a discount pirate. We put a lot of work into this.
You know how I could make you kind of like I make like hand motion of him in like his image.
Like
You're
the shape.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
You know how I can
he strikes a pose. Yeah.
complete you maybe a little bit more.
What exactly are you saying?
So I go up right next to him, get real buddy, and then I just take a hand and I run it down his long locks.
Oh no.
Nasty.
He's got a great new set of hair gel.
He kind of looks through it.
The snail trail.
He does the there's something about Mary where he runs it up his hair and leaves it hanging up, and he says, well, I'm going to kill you one of these days. I just want you to know that. Unlike your friends here, I don't care if you're looking at me. I don't care if you're their friends. We'll find you, and we'll get you. So, be warned. Yeah,
As long
Dren,
as you're returned.
so Justinian will remember this, appears in the corner.
Zero will tape it. Appears in his corner.
Could we get going now? We don't have very many fond memories of being, part of the crew.
You're bringing
wonderful
anybody with you.
We think I'm enough, don't you?
Works for me.
To ship, folks.
So but we do have people coming for the rest of the.
Who dat?
Whose car?
I think that might be my car. I'll be right back.
That's my ship.
Mute yourself.
Yeah, I'm just standing outside the ship with the button. Like, come on.
Can't somebody else mute?
Knots up on the other side, keeps pushing the other button to make sure that whatever you do doesn't actually stop.
We make all of our sound effects canon here.
Chris, is it you?
I don't think so since
Doesn't
he's
have his
back.
headphones on, but he's coming back, so I'm guessing it's not.
And now he's muted.
Is that
So-
you?
Honk.
Wait,
I just
it's not-
muted him and
Muted,
Zoom.
You're still hearing it.
No, it wasn't his car, is what he's saying.
Yeah, it's not my car. It's the neighbors. Oh, it just shut off. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
Stop pushing.
Oh, we're gonna cut this. We're gonna cut this. We're gonna cut it.
But will we?
We never have.
That's
I'm
not
not.
true.
Yeah, I cut a
Justin's
lot.
been doing
I've
a lot
said
of
it
cutting.
plenty
I
of
was about to
times.
say, so we should
Not
really
gonna say it
think
again.
Justin's gonna cut this?
Yes,
I've not edited a damn thing.
we know.
No.
Again, you don't exist. except
Barely his character sheet.
Well, it's okay because
Up to date.
I cut all Patrick's lines anyways.
So you're saying
That-
make it
that-
Who is
5-minute
Rob?
monologue was just silence. Weird.
but the
Yeah,
silence
like-
was maintained.
Yeah, he didn't like fill in that void at all. It was just
Mhm.
5 minutes of no one talking.
Yep.
at
Yep.
all. And then at
And then
the
right afterwards, nice
end,
one, right? Yep.
Wow.
I'm using that for something later. I don't know what. Also, chat wants to know if your macros are up to date, Patrick.
My macros, actually. I do have an announcement. I have found a new character sheet that does all the math for me, and I have completely rehauled my macros. I did it. Go ahead. Ask me to roll initiative,
I
Dustin.
can't see it.
Sure.
Roll
I
athletic.
don't need initiative, but could I get a diplomacy
Check it
check versus Dustinian?
Diplomacy?
Sure.
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 Diplo. I rolled a 28.
Oi, Captain.
Oh no.
I missed you, I think, the most. I know. Don't tell Verhis. He's a little sensitive about these things, but when I was alone at night and had very little to think about,
I don't.
I think it's the antenna.
These
Antennae.
keep the antenna to yourself.
Miller just kind of looks around.
God bless you.
What did we miss these past 8 months?
Everything and nothing. It's a little bit of a mixed bag.
Oh, you missed a lot, actually. Oh, by the way, Zero is a terrorist. Well, was a terrorist.
I think we're all terrorists, aren't we?
I guess so.
Last I checked, that doesn't surprise me anymore.
Has been
Right, you know.
effective as ever over the past.
I mean, technically, so wasn't.
Yeah.
What is it, Seeker, right?
Oh, no, I wasn't a terrorist.
You just work for the same people.
I was an assassin.
Hmm.
It's a little
And
different.
I'm a pirate. That's different.
I didn't bring politics into it.
And I've become the moral compass of this group.
Um,
The
I-
spook has happened.
Weird things have happened.
Huh.
when we get a chance.
I have killed so many people.
Captain.
Stop. We can only take so much.
When we get a second, Seeker does explain all that happened with that whole arc of Seeker and Zero.
I'm gonna say you guys do that on the walk back to the Spirit of Shirket, so that you can all board or your appropriate mecha, and you start heading back towards the home base rendezvous with the mothership. I forget the name of the group of pirates I gave it, but the mothership's their home base, so we'll just use that for now. So you guys could have this conversation, but it's just we'll have you all aboard the Spirit of Shirket now. And so Miller is caught up to basically the secretive party shenanigans we had in the past, which were outed throughout the Most Dangerous Game show.
Which also includes the gun and Nat 6. Is that what it was? Or 3?
Nat 3,
yeah.
Nate.
Yeah, did you tell me about Nate?
I believe even if Rye wouldn't, Seeker absolutely would have.
100% did.
So I just kind of go, all right, hey Miller.
Yeah.
So I need a favor.
It's been like 5 minutes and this guy's already asking us for favors.
Yeah. So
All right.
You remember the gun you built me?
Oh yeah, that thing was a work of art.
Great. Yeah, it's real.
Very, very proud of that one.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
Sure is.
I need some adjustments made.
What kind of adjustments? I mean, that thing is perfect.
So, well, for one thing, I'm replacing it. It was great.
It was a gift.
It was a wonderful gift. But
you changed it.
I found that there are other things more efficient at keeping me alive and other people not.
All right. So what would you like me to do?
And I provide him plans for the the elite semi-auto pistol. And I say, so now I am moving away from the technological guns. This one's analog. It's very simple. Pew pew. It's a Rudy.
Very much less elegant. Yes.
Yeah. But what I need you to do
is attach a battery to it so it can still shout obscenities while you shoot it.
That's mostly it.
Oh.
Yep. No. Well, I mean, the work you'll be doing is exactly the same. It's just it's not gonna shout the pre-programmed things anymore.
Yeehaw! Comes from your holster.
I hit it.
That was number 2, I believe.
Yeah. Ask it a question. just for fun. Just anything.
Ask it a question.
Yeah. Just ask my gut a question.
How does it feel to be at Reichhorn's side?
Very symmetrical.
That is not what I programmed you to do.
Yeah. So,
all right. What kind of cursey BS is all this going on here?
Not a curse.
Shimmer?
Like a...
Nope, not me.
What did you do?
I wish he didn't do it. I really wish he didn't do it, honestly. Wasn't me.
So we have, as a group, decided that we are taking on people.
I had no part in this.
Have, for example, Stevathan and the kids
weren't there.
Yeah, those kids.
Terry.
You guys are adopting children now. This is
And
Fry's adopting children.
oh, well, good for him.
did you hear that? What I just said?
Yeah,
Chris?
yeah.
Yeah.
About Terry and the creepy one.
And Nate.
Nate.
Yes.
Nate.
Yeah.
Refresh our memory.
Perfect. Can you just put the voice from this onto that new gun?
No. I know exactly who Nate is. Kind of fishes around. That's gotta reformat USB drive somewhere around here.
Not a thing. Not a thing.
What?
Not a thing. Also, incredibly useful.
So what do you want me to do?
And I just explain he's going to attach the voice box to this otherwise analog gun because we're keeping Nate.
Oh, this is good fun.
No torture.
I'll say we can do a Miller versus gun conversation piece a little bit later as a side combo. For now, I'll let you guys kind of solo up, but you've given the plans and the weapon over to Miller for now. Yes.
Sure.
Once he promises, and I'm convinced that he's not going to reformat Nate.
I ain't gonna reformat Nate.
Damn.
We aren't either.
How about reprogram? I think he could use some reprogramming.
And I can roll an incredibly high sense mode. Are you telling the truth, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay, then we're good.
For the absolute record, that's harder than it appears. It's my soul and mind you've trapped in here, not just bits of data.
Oh, excuse me, Nate.
Yeah.
Trapped? Those are harsh words. If I recall correctly, you begged me to live, and I provided an opportunity.
I don't know if it's mysticism you need. I dabble.
No, just a transfer will do fine.
Yeah, that's what I
Maybe-
thought.
Maybe some extra memory wouldn't be so bad.
No, you're pushing it.
Don't worry about that. We can weld them on to the side.
Or even maybe an internet hookup. Yeah, we can get it to the. What's
We
the
all-
internet? I forget. What?
All I need.
Holland?
is-
Nope, that's
can I
Star
just
Wars.
cover the voice opening, the little speakerphone.
The microphone, sure.
Yeah, I just cover it with my thumb. All we need is to attach the voice box. That's it. Just vocal. No Wi-Fi. No Bluetooth.
I think
No.
there's one.
Miller just kind of leans in and kind of whispers to Wright. This ain't a test, is it?
It's not a test.
Is he testing you?
Infosphere. That's what it was. The
Not a
infosphere.
test.
He's not testing you. It's not gonna blow up in our hands. And I mean, do you know how hard it is to find
Let's
hands?
smack the gun.
It's actually
against
kind
the
of
steel
easy,
Table multiple times. No,
It is not a Nate
Roll.
task.
All right, take it.
A mute button would be nice.
Oh, I can
No,
do
a
that.
mute would actually not be bad.
I can't tell, but the gun is like doing its best to frown. Nothing changes, but it's trying. You guys are awful. All right. So that's good.
Not in RP, not in role play, but I also go on to explain how useful he has been in identifying the other Nate units, learning how to take advantage or exploit their weaknesses, yada yada yada.
Cool. We could do this.
Oh, any questions, by the way, about all the other stuff that happened?
There's so many questions. Kids, we got kids that are bigger than I am here.
Yeah.
From beside you guys, well, I've always thought I'd make a good father. If you need a hand there, Ray Shorin, I fancy myself quite handy, if you know what I mean.
I do. Unfortunately, I do. I know exactly what you mean.
All right, now I got even more questions.
It's just not worth it.
I'm going to head to the showers. Maybe get whatever the shite this is in my hair out. Roy, would you like to join me?
Nope.
Okay. He does leave, so you guys are left alone.
So Miller, are you going to be staying with us?
That's the plan.
Really?
Would you like to have me?
Of course.
How about the other
About
two?
that hat.
Well, I mean, by the what was it, the scavenger's code or whatever it was, this ship belongs to you too.
Yeah.
Hey, Dustin.
Yep.
I immediately, while they're carrying on the conversation, start looking around the ship for spare fabric or hats or spare in order to do a disguise check. I'm gonna roll a perception if you're cool with that.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, perception.
Or it's my
fine.
ship, and you could just say I find things.
No. Let's see perception. See exactly what you find.
Well, I mean, there was that box of clothes that was in Brawl's room.
Wasn't it jettison though?
I think at one point it might have been
28 for the fabric.
28 for the fabric. I will say, you are looking through, not really in any particular sense. You're kind of just aimlessly searching about, and as you're going through the common room, you end up hitting the engine rooms, and you see something that you hadn't noticed before, tucked in an out of the way corner. There actually seems to be a collection of different styles of ostentatious hats. And when you kind of look around, like what not Sob, you catch out of the corner of your eye, and as soon as he sees that you've seen his hats, he scurries away and refuses to say anything.
Well, he doesn't wear them anyway. So I cobble together just real quick, like various fabrics or hats and whatnot, and I just try to disguise the hideous growth.
Yeah, I'll basically allow whatever hat style you would like to say you're putting on, whether that is old-fashioned bowler hat versus high-tech steampunk style. Top, you go for it.
Black
Go
mage
nuts.
hat.
Black mage hat. So
Yeah,
yellow
the shape
and
of
like
black mage.
pointy.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you definitely find one of those.
Because I rolled a 34, so it looks like he's completely okay.
It does. And actually, the appendage fits nicely into the conical version of the hat, and since it's a little lopsided, anyways, even the fact that it's not erect is fine.
I cut out little holes for the eyes, and they just look like buttons.
All right. So you've now upset Chris because he has to update his costume to include a mage hat. Should Miller take a like? I'll say we'll call that Miller's disguise when he feels like he needs it. It's up to Miller to actually engage in the disguise.
Yeah, like you put it on the head. I'm like, all right, what's this?
You look perfect.
Well, I mean,
Don't you feel safer, Phyllis?
well,
Right,
Wait a second.
Phyllis?
we're all kind of one here. That's I have a feeling here, and I kind of like tickle Rye's nose at the end of the tail.
I quote Miller in non-sarcastic way, just like trying to replay what he said to me a minute ago.
Mm.
It's a gift. And I say it with full sincerity.
Do we intimidate you, Raishorin?
No. I said that with full sincerity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do we intimidate you? Do we intimidate you?
No.
I don't believe you.
Nah, I'm not intimidating. Skeeved out.
Ah. Yeah, you've always been one to have a bit of a weak stomach.
Boy, are you...
Plus, he doesn't need two hats.
Rice gags a little. The tail kind of goes over his mouth a little.
Is that Phyllis going, shh?
Yeah, yep.
I was just hoping that Phyllis might actually have a different relationship with Rye than Miller.
No more relationships.
Yeah, I'm also hoping it gets erotic, but that's my slash fiction, so don't worry about that. I think I've upgraded from Rye X Seeker to Rye X Phyllis.
I think it's always been Ryan somebody, anybody at any point in the
Everybody.
Yeah.
Ryan everybody. Search for that.
One of the eyeballs winks.
Coming to a Discord near you.
Ryan Brawl had that, like, I hate you, but why do I love you sort of situation going on.
Every character I've played, Dustin has turned it into some sort of like attempt to
Well,
because things. I don't think I've
because
ever played,
everybody else just rolls with it.
yeah. I don't think I've ever played a character in a Dustin campaign that was overtly sex minded.
Well,
I mean, I left you alone during Wayward Sons.
Oh, suck it, Pat.
I don't remember. Oh, did you?
Yeah, because you were you.
Oh. Wow.
He leaves. For the audio people, Pat just left.
I'm glad I didn't have to explain that one. Thank you, everyone else, for being on the same page. I appreciate that very much.
Maybe it was obvious.
I mean, I don't blame you either. So
Oh, Steve is right. I did try to engage in Molly, Patrick's girlfriend,
Oh, that's true.
role play, and I was all about that. But that Patrick put the kibosh on that. So I guess we're good.
You didn't want to see Dustin every time you saw Molly.
too late. Anyways,
focusing on
Miller.
Starfinder.
So, what have you been up to, anyways? Other than
well,
dying and coming back, or something? Getting a fancy hat?
It's you guys keep calling Phyllis a hat. It's just well, there really ain't much to say here. After Sal bailed me out, did some research, found out a little bit more about Krellis and their whole ordeal, which we can get into a bit later once the voice in the sky catches me up on what we need to do, on what I know.
You mean Phyllis?
Yes, Phyllis. Yes. But yeah, it was basically just kind of infiltrating one of the BSU strongholds. Did some pretty good damage, and then all of a sudden, Krellis came out of nowhere, pinned me down, shot me in the face, and the rest is history. We've been kind of recovering from there. I'm doing a lot better now. I can talk.
This might be forward, but how does this all work?
Well, it's the three of us working in tandem. It's pretty sweet.
Three?
Yeah, I told you. My
TIT5.
For the layman, us mechanics, we're pretty smart, I got this exocortex built into my brain. It's an artificial intelligence. It's pretty smart. And when I got my, left hemisphere blown up, actually, it's my right side. Yeah. When I got my right hemisphere blown up, Phyllis kind of filled the void and took a lot of the memories from the TI-75.
The calculator?
If you want to call it a calculator, if that makes sense to you.
No, that was just a reference to TI calculator.
Oh yeah, I know where you're going.
Will
but
Krellis still be an issue?
for me, nah. As far as they know, we're dead.
But when he finds out that you're not dead.
Oh, I was very, very dead.
But
not a lot of people survive losing half their brain, but not a lot of people have a Phyllis and a TI-75.
Yes, so you're here now.
We are here now.
And Krellis is still going to be okay with you being alive.
As far as I know.
I mean,
Where did you leave off with? I never got to the end of it. Silurk.
How did we leave off with Silurk?
I'll say
Um,
Phyllis is still filling you in. I'll come back to it. I'll do some research and figure out what it was.
Yeah, Silark decided to join us or help out against Krellis.
Okay. So you guys do have basically an anti-Krellis trump card if needed, which Miller can kind of mention briefly.
So I got an anti-Krellis orange person CAD.
Oh, awful. Awful.
I liked it. So we could call that one in.
Yeah. All right. I will
Is
basically say you have as long as you're able to set up the encounter, you have at least some way to handle Krellis.
Sure.
Is the information that Miller got about Krellis, is that something that you just haven't written up yet? We'll go over later, or is that something that you actually do know? You just want to go over it later.
I have it written up. I don't know how you guys want to do that.
Because I'm sure we'd all be interested to learn more about Krellis' whole situation.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I guess I can. Yeah. All right. Miller does fill you guys in on the whole thing that happened with the Skittermanders. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. So if you were to go back and watch the Skittermander, not really a one shot. It was a 3-shot, 4-shot. I think it was 3-shot.
4-shot.
It was a 4-shot. All right, the Skittermander 4-shot. It starts off following the Skittermander 1-shot for I think the first half, and then the second half is all Chris's homebrew, which deals with Miller tasking the Skittermanders with finding out information on, well, effectively Krellis. Now, did they find out all the information I sent to you, basically, Chris? Because I can quickly cover that.
Yep.
So effectively, there is two creatures that were outside of this universe and entered many years ago. And these were Krellis and Silark. Not given names, they took these names on as they entered the universe, which was much different than their own. Effectively here, they are living sets of armor. They may take on hosts, so they may have someone inside their armor, but the armor is what is in control. It is sentient, living, generally somewhat malicious armor. Now, when you encountered Krellis, it was a fully functioning. It's been entrenched in the society. So Krellis has a much more kind of loose, modern interaction to the world. And Silark's a little bit less. Silark has been marooned on a planet, which is where Miller and the Skittermanders encountered
I
it.
didn't do it.
Didn't do what?
I didn't maroon him. Wasn't me.
No, you didn't maroon him this time. Actually, Krellis marooned Silark. I don't know if you guys got that much into that. I really should watch into that episode. But the idea there is that Krellis is a super old, fairly strong living set of armor, nigh unkillable based on your universe's standards, your dimension standards, I should say. Outside of the physical dimension, that's probably the best way to engage with Krellis and Silark, which he would have eventually passed on to Miller, because Silark does not agree with Krellis's actions in the universe at large.
Jim.
Well, that's something. I don't even know my own memories with Krellis. I know I've done something with him at some point.
Well,
Still scares me.
yeah, they were pretty quick about it. Thing that hurt the most was, the boot on my chest. As it held me down and pointed at fairly large hand cannon right at my face. It was intimidating.
Hand cannon, want to retroactively say it was the spellcaster gun?
I think that would make even more sense.
Yeah, and I say that might even be why you're alive, as opposed to having your entire situation removed. Canonically, it was the spellcaster gun that Krellis stole or pseudo stole from Seeker.
Missed that thing.
Yeah, I don't. And it didn't miss me.
You. Yeah, there you go.
Shall we go interrogate our prisoner?
Oh, that sounds like fun.
I have no objections.
Prepping the nanobots.
I have my knife.
What do you think, Phyllis?
And my tail.
You guys are all good. Question, in terms, so on roll 20, I have you guys at the ship map, which is, again, that came from the 0 Hour website. We purchased it off of them and got permission to use. Would you like to have this brig? I didn't make you guys choose. Be one of the extra room at the bottom left, which has a red circle now. Right over here, which was like a conference room, but never had anything really installed. Or would you have it be like a sectioned off version of the hangar, which is actually the bottom floor of the ship?
This is for what now?
I'm pro the hangar and not next to the dormitories.
The brig. How did you guys establish the brig? It's just I'm trying to determine how this situation looks when you were all interrogating Mister.
Well, isn't that where we had the goblins locked up in that room?
That one.
In that one?
I think that might have been the one that you guys had locked up the goblins, but I'll say in the 8 months since, you've needed to give rooms for your
Terry and
Terry and Ferenci.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I'll say they're bunking in there with like a bunk bed setup because they're smaller and don't take up much space and also don't have much by way of belongings.
If we have the space and the ability to be sure that we've got them locked up, then the hangar's fine.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm not trying to pick on you guys for like making an error there. I'm trying to pick on you guys for how this looks with your setup. So you have plenty of space in the hangar for all of you to be engaging with Mister at once, which is totally fine. And as you guys make your way down to the hangar, Mister is still set up in whatever, well, you fashioned maybe a makeshift cage for him, and he's chained off to a railing somewhere off the side. He is a purple-skinned drow with a shock of like neon orange hair, which is a little mussed up right now, but otherwise stylized, where he's got like an undercut and it kind of sweeps over side of his head. He is a fashion-forward elven fellow, or drow fellow, anyways. He looks up at your arrival, and he says, "Oh well, I mean, sure, you kept me waiting, but I guess I can talk with you now."
I didn't come to buy drugs this time.
Thank you.
Are you sure? Because I did refine, some of that stuff that I gave you last time, which I can't remember.
I give a
I
very
still have it.
stern look over at Seeker.
Yeah, but you haven't tried the refined version.
Or
He's
the
not
first
buying drugs.
That's what I said.
Yeah, why would you buy it when you could just clearly take it from him?
He's not
Exactly.
buying
I
drugs,
Probably
zero.
can make some too. I mean,
No one makes them as good as me.
When did I
Probably-
become the old fuddy-duddy?
You got any on you right now?
Well, you guys did search me and go through my effects, so you might have
You've always
seen-
got something stored away.
Oh,
They all do.
gross.
Did we have not sob check the cavities?
I'm gonna go ahead and say Notzab wouldn't take demands or commands like that. He would definitely, while as much as he's down
Delegate.
for it, the fact that you
Go
were trying to
ask it
delegate
out
work to
loud.
him, he doesn't like.
Is not sob in the room with us?
You can make it so Notzab's in the room with you, yes.
No, that was just a threat to say out loud. to
Where
make
is
him
my
uncomfortable.
buddy nuts?
I would not have assumed that we actually checked his cavities.
No, I'll say
Yes.
that you did not check his cavities, you freak.
Okay, let me rephrase it. I ask in a menacing and threatening way, have we had not sob check his cavities?
Oh, I'm on the same page now, but
There
did
you
take
go.
about-
It only took 2 tries.
It did take about 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's fine.
No. What it is Dustin really, really wanted us to check some cavities.
And I'll do an intimidate just to get him to shut up.
So unfortunately, your intimidate, no matter how high it is, kind of doesn't have the effect you want, because Mister actually quickly puts up a hand as they're chained up and says, "Actually, you did not. Yeah, you not yet. I should hope."
You got something to hide?
Everyone I meet is just so not what I expected.
There's, I mean, you're sure I've got something to hide, or you could hide something, whatever.
So he's clearly basically just like Justinian.
Um,
Um,
Justinian's
at
a
what
little
point in
nicer than
time-
you guys are about to encounter.
At what point in time do we realize that these are not characters of Dustin? This is just Dustin.
Again, in my opinion, future space sees more polyamorous creatures, more pansexual beings. There's a lot less rigidity, or a lot more
And-
rigidity.
And they all seem to like
And-
my characters.
Oh, this one's not engaging with Rye. Actually, he's down for whatever, and the slimy Murkoi is just fine. That one's pretty lubricated. Actually, yeah.
And-
I've
Pretty
been waiting
much.
for one of those jokes to come out. I really have been.
This is
Oh.
basically a playground for Dustin's id.
All right, guys. This is gonna be weird.
I just put one hand on the moistened monkey man and just no, it's okay. All right.
All right, let's
Trent
get
puts
this.
no
his
need
tail
for game.
down.
Let's get this
Yeah.
interrogation in, out of the way in the most family-friendly manner,
Yeah.
folks.
So I say, all right, that's why don't we just start with tell us what you know.
I know lots. I'm the best cook you got out there. Like I said, Mr. Android Man, I can give you access to a lockbox that's got the refined.
I cover his mouth. We're not talking drugs. You're not selling drugs. We've kept you alive for a reason. Provide us information. No drugs, Dren.
I bring up the broadcast that shows him standing right next to the leader of the Gerson Sphere.
Yeah, look pretty good there too. Yeah, all right.
I
Hey,
release
which-
his. I
I
release.
point to basically the leaders and say, "This is what we want to know about."
Derleth? Nah, don't worry about him. He's fine. He's a little cupcake, 4-armed cupcake. What would you like to
I'm-
know? Be specific. He's Kasathan. He's got 4 arms. He's kind of a tool bag. What do you need to know?
Oh, he's a tool bag?
What's his ultimate goal?
I'm gonna be really honest with you. I only get commands. I don't know his ultimate goal.
Who do you report to?
I report to me
You report to you.
and
You
You
whoever,
just said you got
Commands
commands. Who do you get them from?
you.
whomever's paying the bills, fellas.
Who's paying the Jesus Christ? Who's paying the bills?
Well, right now, no one, because I'm in a holding cell. As of maybe an hour ago, I was maybe under the employ of our friend Derlith Gerson. The week before that, they had me working back at the home country, and I was doing some good old weapon manufacturing with, my drow brethren. Take your pick. I'm not.
Is the home country.
Christ, I don't remember where drow are. Is it? What's the planet where they're underground in Starfinder?
Yes.
No, you guys are
Yes.
cool. Hold on, I'll find
You
it.
want me to remember lore? What?
Apostate.
Is it apostate? That might be where they are.
That's
I
what
can't.
Black Rabbit says, and I take his word without.
Yeah, I'll
question.
take. I will also take Black Rabbit's word.
So I say, okay, if we were to go line item at your payment history, and we were to look at the little line that says memo and what you were paid for,
Sure.
what has insert that person's name here that I can't pronounce? What was his payment for?
Well, this time, this project in particular, I was just doing some R&D.
On
Ask your android friend. He nods at Seeker.
Are you referring to back on Verses with Nate? Nat 3, like the same sort of R&D he was doing, or?
Not sorry, don't know any Nates. Or any Nats for that matter.
Okay. Well, what do you mean by that then?
Can we do a sense motive on him to see what he's, been lying about?
You can definitely do sense motive.
Yeah, I'll sense the motive. Yeah,
I'll sense all of the
I will
things.
sense every motive. I got less than a 32.
I got a
I
12.
got a 21.
Let me do a quick roll for his bluffing. Um,
Mine's actually at 30.
I got a 7.
so my Lashunta and Android that were looking into it, you guys have a pretty good feel on it. He's not so far lied to you, but he's going to try and give you information as sideways as possible. Also, in this instance, he's clearly trying to put some focus on Seeker, maybe potentially trying to alienate the group. He kind of speaks up. He says, "What, are you wearing that tattoo for fashion?"
Oh, that! Oh. No. Of course not. Although it is kind of cool a little bit.
Yeah,
It's,
you're right.
it's rather
I
fetching.
kind of like it. Yeah.
We know when he got that, correct? Like, we all kind of noticed that it appeared.
Yeah. You guys are all well aware that it occurred on your escape from the Most Dangerous Game show, and it was a gift from the undead
Schecter.
Schecter the Sheeran. Yes, Schecter the Sheeran had basically reached out and connected with Seeker's skin and left behind the tattoo. Also had done so to Sheerkat prior to Sheerkat's expiring.
So, what is it? What actually is this thing? This stuff, this
Well,
ooze.
I could tell you, but you could also make it worth my while, maybe, I got lots of information. I'm maybe willing to be a little bit more forthcoming if I don't think I end up this evening, sucking void.
Who's void? I look at my pistol. I asked for my pistol back from
Miller
real quick.
temporarily.
Yeah,
Right,
and
right. We haven't finished any of the work on it.
yeah, it's fine.
It's only been 10 minutes.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine that quick of a turnaround.
What is this, Geek Squad?
So I
Miller's actually insulted, but
I start talking to my gun. Like I walk away a little bit and I start talking to my gun.
don't worry about him. This guy's a little.
So while Rye walks away and goes to talk to his gun, well, we might not send you out there, but I could start cutting fingers or toes off.
Got extra. I'm willing to see what that's like. Let's do this.
Or hair.
Miller reaches into a pocket, pulls out a like wire clippers. There you go.
Hair grows back. I'm not particularly worried.
I gesture a hand over to Miller and be like, I got this, and then tail comes on. So how is he shackled? Like what you got going on right now, or is that just?
I'd say Faye Valentine, Cowboy Bebop style, chained off to the side of the wall. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So then I'll place like a hand up on like where his wrists are, and then I in not in slow motion, but the camera that doesn't exist. I started putting my tail blade up to his hands, and does anybody do anything?
Well, I don't see this because I'm turning around
Okay.
trying to get information on.
Yeah, let's switch to what Patrick's doing.
Okay.
Give this a pause. Mister seems unbothered. And Rye, what's going on with you and your gun?
So I just I'm talking to Nate real quick, and I'm like, "Hey Nate, do you know anything about this guy? He's real annoying."
Loudly, the Drow.
Yeah, that's the one.
Let me take a quick check. I got a hit on Mister. looks like it is a drow, goes by the name of Boremi Jason, contractor, sometimes used for the more extreme research and development used by the Border Space Union. I've never had any direct interactions, but he was definitely on the payroll.
Anyone who would be particularly pleased to get a hold of him? Enemies, perhaps, anything like that? Anything I can
Mm,
use against him so that he stops talking useless stuff?
hard to say. They kept a lot of the Border Space Union jobs pretty sectioned off, and as I was an outside hire, I don't necessarily know what particularly he was working on, but I guarantee you are able to leak any of his special projects, get actual verifiable proof. Unlike that time you destroyed my entire facility, I think you might have a pretty good resource to start bringing down your boy Gerson. You know, just cold hard facts of the awful things he's doing.
Good. Thanks, Nate. Useful.
You're welcome. About that extra memory. What are we gonna look
I-
at?
As he's talking, I hand the gun back over to Miller.
I just pouch it.
Yeah.
And as you turn around,
So what?
did you remove a finger?
Yeah.
Which finger are you removing? Pinky, thumb, like a forefinger being intentional, or you being tortury?
Kind of torturing a little bit. Yeah.
So I think general practice for torturers is to start off with the useless bit and
Yeah.
slowly work your way in. So I'll say you nip off a pinky with your Solarian blade, and Mister goes, "Ooh, that stings a bit. Oh goodness. Maybe a little harder next time though.
What?
Put some muscle into it."
Miller
Oh,
is not okay with this and
Yeah.
kind of pulls Dren out of the way.
I turn around, I see this, and I reach out telepathically to Zero real quick. Can you restrain the monkey man, please?
I'm not touching
it is like oiled up.
So I'm looking at Rye, looking and seeing that thing going on.
Okay, so
Hey, Dren, let's take a look at your mech.
It was only his pinky. You don't need it.
You could have went for this finger here. It's even more useless. At least the pinky serves a purpose.
Someone want to get some that on ice, maybe?
Yeah. I got it. Throw it in a bucket of ice.
Thanks. That one's name was Ted, and I want Ted back if possible.
Ted's dead.
Yeah, well.
Ted's dead, baby. Let's go,
Friends
Dren.
and Eox don't really have any problem with that 4-letter word, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I go back to what's his name, Mister. How did I forget Mister? I go back to Mister and look at the wound and just.
I can cauterize that.
Why me? So I look back at him and go, okay, so off on the wrong foot.
Wrong finger, more like.
Yeah. Oh.
There is some blood dribbling out of his hand, but he seems more or less unperturbed.
Okay. Let's just start this all over again. We have you. Clearly, you are not going free. You are going to be held in custody. That much is known. You're not getting out. We have an understanding there, right? Like, that's just obvious.
Well, obvious only in the effect that I'm useful to you, because I generally run with the sort of folk that go with the. He draws an aggravated, or he attempts to. The chains don't allow it, so it's kind of like he like reaches down, like angles his neck up.
He's doing this shape from the shackles. Just
Yeah.
So right, you're potentially useful to us, which keeps you alive. Other people might want you eliminated. So I think it stands to reason it's a good idea to help. Not saying you have to like it. Sure as hell not getting paid, but might be able to make your stay in hotel prison a little more tolerable.
Roll
Is that
diplomacy.
out there? Sure thing. Roll diplomacy. Boop. Beep. Diplo. Roll to 23.
All right, I'm gonna roll against him. Yep. He says, you know what? I'll accept a little bit more comfortable, and I'll give you guys information in as much as I think that I can deliver to you and still retain my usefulness. I will be honest. You will be able to fact check to the best of your ability. You may have to take some things on faith, I guess, but I'm okay with this setup because depending on how Derlith is feeling when he finds out I've been captured, he's either going to put out a hit on me or burn down the diaspora looking for me. Take your pick. But, if by comfort you mean maybe even unchaining me so that I could move my arm and maybe stop the blood flowing from my open, gaping wound.
We'll take care of the blood and you'll be unchained when you're off the ship.
Fine. What do you need to know at this exact instant? And I'll see if I can be useful.
What are the immediate plans that you know of that they have? Immediate plans. What are the big ticket action items going on right now?
They being, I assume, the triumvirate.
You assume correctly.
Sure. I'll give you what I know, but
First
I'll
rate.
be honest, I do my own thing. They hire me for a job, I do the job. They have a project they want, like a pet project, that's what I do. But last I knew, Derlith was holed up on Absalom Station. I have no idea what he is doing over there whatsoever. Absalom Station, I don't know if you guys have been there in a while, was hit quite aggressively by a giant space station. So it's not doing so hot. Derlis seems fine hanging there. I've been getting some communique from him from there, but why he's there, that you know more than me, maybe. Then there was the Vesk, right? Shen, I think her name was. Last I knew, she was still trying to make sure that Triaxis was a viable Vesk colony. Um, they I'm going to be really honest with you. I don't know what Derlith was thinking. There is no way that Vesk isn't going to be using Triaxis as an invasion staging point against the Pact Worlds. Honestly, he must have some sort of backup plan or something. It's insane to me that he gave them an entire planet. This whole Pact thing, I don't know if you know your history books too well, was the Viscarium and the folks here in the Pact Worlds, the Central, making an alliance, right? They had this thing against, what was it, the bug folks, whatever, the Swarm, right? And now they just gave them a planet peacefully. That's insane. But that's last I knew. She's on Triaxis. Uh, the Eoxian, Gurgretz, uh, he was still in charge of the Dead Fleet. I think you guys might have actually gotten him to be a little bit more engaged with the Dread Fleet when you had your pirate friends whisk you away from Eox itself. Last I knew, he was petitioning Derlith for the mech designs he's been using, but Derlith's been keeping that secret pretty close to his chest. That's about what I know, but I'll be honest, I haven't seen any of them in person in about 3 months.
Okay. And as far as atrocities are concerned, what information do you have on atrocities that have been commanded by them?
You're kind of quiet, Pat.
Am I?
I don't say it's too bad, but you're quieter.
Is this better?
I'd say, sure.
That makes so much more sense because I am hard to ignore. So I ask, as far as atrocities go, if you were on the stand and they were asking you to provide testimony against them, what kind of grotesque acts against the public have they engaged in that you're aware of that they've commanded?
I'm not necessarily involved with the bigger picture stuff. I was a representative. I don't know how much you know about drow culture in general, but big weapon manufacturers on Aposte. Big, big, big. So I'm kind of their go-between for that. So the armaments and weaponry for their mech army. Yeah, that's something I helped negotiate. I know the pistol incident, or whatever they're calling it these days. I know that wasn't quite as the newscast got it, but I'll be honest, my involvement was real limited in that. And to be even more honest, I had a couple experiments going on Pyramid Station Alpha that I'm kind of TO'd that all that hard work was literally smeared across different landscapes in the Pact worlds.
And what about the black ooze?
Oh, what about the black ooze? Some hoity-toity necromancer, apparently from the future, has been using the substance that you're calling the black ooze to enact its will throughout the cosmos. I'll be honest, it's all a little fishy to me, but we got a supply that I believe was taken forcibly from the flesh of others, such as yourself, Android. And I was experimenting on ways to have it be a functional, how do you say, enhancement to the troops at home. I had a couple prototype models out and about, and it seemed to take very well. The material has a fantastic memory, and it's almost like giving dream stuff substance, and then making it permanent and quite nasty, honestly. I'm like this close to outside biz making a nice retail drug that uses this stuff. It's going to be fantastic.
So what does it mean that it's on me? Like, it hasn't done anything.
Well, where'd you get it?
I believe some bug-looking guy was covered in it, and it touched me, and now I'm left with this.
Bug looking guy. Bug looking guy.
Did we actually get the name like in character? I don't remember if we actually.
I don't recall either. Was it an Inquisitor?
Yes.
Nice. They rolled out the alpha. That's good. So it's working too. It's spread to you. Technically, well, maybe you don't. Yeah, I think you're better off. Don't worry about it.
I mean, I think we killed it.
Did you kill its handler?
No.
Well, I'm sure you'll never run into them. It's a big galaxy. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It's just that it looks like they gave you the chain of command, but like it's not like
The what?
The chain of command.
What's that?
It's a lot like a dog collar. You ever seen?
What's a dog?
Immediately, Rye starts laughing.
It's
I
like,
quizzed you to tell Seeker to sit and see what happens.
Boy.
like I don't know, if you ever don't do what they say, they can kind of give you a compulsion to do it. I will say it's a little bit more effective than training beasties because that stuff's in you. There's not really much you can do about it. Awkward, right? So awkward.
So I can't get rid of it anyway. There's no way to get rid of it other than maybe killing the handler.
Oh no, that won't get rid of it. It just makes it probably inert. Someone else is sporting a tattoo similar to that somewhere on their body. That's the handler.
Hmm.
It's actually, I don't think the alpha was supposed to be able to pass that one on. So weird. I'll be honest. I don't know that much about it. It's real fun. It is so fun.
Yes, it's wonderful, really.
Oh, but did you die? You're fine.
Almost. This scar, yeah, that, yeah.
Oh, please. I'm missing a finger and I've only been here for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a dangerous ship.
Is there anything else you lovely gentlemen would like to ask? That thing is male, right? And he points at Miller. Miller's off, right?
Yeah.
All right, that thing is male, right? And he kind of gestures to where Miller went.
What?
Dren, we're not sure.
No, I know Dren. I meant the other one.
The Yosoki.
Yeah, I guess that was a Yosoki? He had some modifications done. I'd like to get in his head. Maybe pick his brain.
Which one?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay, well, you just keep those thoughts in your own head and be prepared for more information giving when necessary. We'll try to fix up that wound and get you some food.
Ooh, I can make
Sure.
eggs.
Especially now that you.
Not torturing him.
No, there's no need for torture. I recorded this whole thing.
Yeah, I saw your camera going. There isn't much else I can do to stop you now, is there?
No, there's definitely nothing.
I'm not overly worried about that. Again, I'm viewing you guys as my ticket out of here. I believe my gainful employment ended the second you caught me. And if I'm wrong, you'll all be dead anyways, right? So we'll see how it goes.
I mean, he ain't wrong.
I'm not paid to be wrong,
And now
Lashunta.
you're not paid.
You could pay to live.
Well, we'll see how that works.
And that's all I have, unless anybody else has any questions for him.
I think I asked everything I got. I just wanted up that tattoo.
Seeker, as people like start working away, he does kind of like Android.
Which one?
Not the shitty one. I want you.
Ha!
What, Justin? What was the name of the drug he gave you? Do you have it on your?
I
character
just had
Is
think
it
it was
like
Hyperleaf.
Leaf or something like
Hyperleaf.
that?
Or
Oh,
actually, it's on my
Hyperleaf?
sheet. I still have it. I never
Hy-
actually used it.
I think it was.
That is. Oh, hold up. I'm gonna have to put you guys on hold for 1 second.
Yep.
Woo!
We're gonna cut
Attack
this.
of the Slugs.
Uh-oh. One of his kids is causing a ruckus.
Always a ruckus.
Probably.
Kids, but ruckus.
We hear Rex causing a ruckus in the other room.
I haven't had my
It was Foresight. That's what it was.
reunition with Natsab yet.
Well, you're about to have it.
No.
Foresight is not on here.
I'm back.
Dustin, it was Foresight.
Oh, okay. So he did give you foresight. Perfect.
Yep.
He kind of hisses at you and says the thing about zero. That's a little derogatory. And he says, that foresight I gave you, how is it only the experimental brand? That's one I finished over a year ago at this point.
Well,
If you
what
wanted the real stuff,
does it do?
well, you let's just say it's a combat enhancing drug that is a hell of a time.
Do I take him up on this offer? That's the question.
Well, it's a seeker roll. Do a seeker roll.
Yeah, I gotta do a seeker roll for this one.
But decide now, is a high roll a good thing or is a low roll a good thing?
I don't know. I can't remember what I've been doing.
Depends on how good the trip is.
All right,
I know,
well,
I'm
let's
saying you
see.
should decide now. Below a 10, you get it. Above a 10,
Oh, I got a nat
Oh,
20.
huh.
I do not.
You don't take it?
I do not take it. I don't think that now is a good time.
See, that's just it.
Oh,
It gives
Um,
you.
Oh no!
Steve,
Steve gave
disadvantage.
Disadvantage? Oh no. All right. 25.
Okay.
That's still pretty high, so I'm going to say still did not take it.
Thank you, Steve, for hooking me up.
I've been doing will checks, by the way. That's what I do.
No, that's
Will
fair.
checks against like a arbitrary DC.
The stuff you're talking about gives you more time. Yeah, in fact,
Does it give you Zawarudo?
I don't actually know what that does in JoJo, so I'm gonna have to let that one go.
He says in character.
Yeah, if you I'm just saying, I can give you the coordinates to my stash. It was my private collection for when I felt like, really seeing what was coming. But I wouldn't, I'd like to see it in action. I don't want to see it rot. I don't make these things to sit and languish and maybe be used by dirtless crack troopers. I want to see this. I want to see it in action.
Well, I mean, if it's just coordinates, I'll take those.
Sure. He lists off some coordinates which are somewhere else in the diaspora. I'll say the other end of the diaspora, and if you were to look up in a nav chart, it's a unnamed, unmanned, unhospitable asteroid. Seriously, if you do take it though, maybe have your auteur friend take a video of it. I'd like very much to watch. But
Okay.
don't take too much at once.
Well, how much is too much? I've never done this. I've only done this once.
Just read the instructions in the bottle. You'll be fine.
You put in. Okay.
Looks at the instructions. Take some.
Patrick may have guessed basically what it says.
Well, as you get down to like halfway through the vial, there's like another note inside. Take more.
Yeah, I think there's plagiarism on it. It just says "Don't panic."
Yeah.
In big friendly letters. It's yep. You've got coordinates for Thank you for the tattoo show off, Christopher. You've got coordinates to a stash of, we'll call it perfect future sight. Oh, sorry, foresight is what they call it. Call it perfect foresight.
All right.
Now you guys have kind of coordinated. You were on the way back to the mothership with Dustinian and Mr. in tow. Anything you guys need to do party-wise before you get back there?
Rebuild Dren's mech.
I'm going to say that probably comes more from the folks on the mothership. They've got a little bit more resources and they collected the spare parts. Otherwise, you guys just don't have spare parts yet. Do you guys remember how many mechs you destroyed?
All of them.
I think there was like at least 8.
I think I deleted them as you killed them. I did.
Yeah.
Can I just control Z to make that work? No, that didn't work. We'll say you got 4 replacement mech parts. Chris, that's part of your kind of resistance materials. 4 replacement mech parts.
Got it.
All right. And so that's something that can be taken care of. But anything, again, inter-party that you guys would like to address before we move on? No is an acceptable answer.
I do go in at some point and reattach the finger.
Oh, okay. You do it.
Oh yeah, I have a pretty good medicine skill.
Okay, yeah, sure. We'll say that it's some Miller and Mr. Alone time.
Sure.
And as you kind of come approach and you're working on his finger, he says, you could feel every part of that appendage?"
Yes.
And I'm talking about the one with the eyeball sticking out of your head. Yeah, that one.
Yep. It kind of reaches over and itches underneath my chin.
Huh. And you said that was a symbiont.
Symbiote, yes.
Oh, yeah. What are you even feeding it?
Scraps. A lot of times it just leeches off what I eat. Yeah.
I gotta say, you had to have come into some serious radiation or something, because there is no way for that to exist. That's a freak of nature, and I love it.
Me too. That's the only reason we're alive.
Would you be well? No. Let me rephrase this in a way that won't creep you out. Uh, after you're done with my finger, maybe. Good job, by the way. You've only stabbed me 3 times with that needle.
Purposefully.
Yeah, no, I assumed. Any chance I could get some of the DNA from your appendage up there? I think I could whip up maybe a little bit of go-go juice for your friend.
Sense motive.
Go for it.
10 altogether.
He's got base roll for 11 and he rolled a 19. So you fully believe that he is looking to enhance Phyllis. Just the pure mysticism of this weird thing growing out of your head seems to be his fixation.
Now, what kind of enhancements are we talking about?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering what I could get that thing to do. Could I get it to release adrenaline on command and overcharge your brain? Could I get it to meld better with that tech half and make it one big organic technomancer wet dream processor? There's a lot of things I think I could do. Do you want to cast magic? I don't know. It might be in there. There's a lot of room. That thing is wrong, and I love that.
Let's see. Magic, you say? And Miller just kind of does some little fancy hand waves, and like you hear like kind of sounds kind of popping up all around the room. I've been, I'd say, dabbling.
I'm very impressed. However, what if you dabbled with, I don't know, something a little more explosively charged? Technomancy is just what happens when the flesh really gets in there with the tech, if you know what I mean. And you're a goddamn breeding ground for weird.
Why, thank you.
And maybe, who
Flatter.
knows? Maybe you and me, you're a businessman, right? I think I remember that. I think I remember you from Pistol now. You're a businessman. We could put a whole market out of life support symbiotes. That's something that, I mean, who wouldn't want that? He kind of just gestures at your face.
Who? I don't know. Rye.
Yeah, he doesn't count. He's uptight. He's got a stick up his ass further than that vial I got up mine. Don't worry about it.
Gross.
Yeah, I'm just saying. There's just a lot of stuff going on with your whole head region that I could make profitable for you personally in a couple of ways.
All right, I'm listening.
I'm just saying, when they get me a little bit more comfortable, maybe they get me a little bit more comfortable with a bit of a lab kit and some DNA from your friend.
I'll think about it. This Phyllis here is the thing that's keeping me alive.
Phyllis, I need scrapings. If Phyllis produces waste, I'll take the waste. I just need a little bit. Honestly, I expect whatever you give me is probably irradiated as all heck. I don't want too much of it in my lab if I'm not working under pristine conditions, but just a little bit. I think that's enough. I think I can get something going for you.
Miller just kind of scratches his head, looks underneath the fingernails. Oh,
yeah. He does kind of shy away from the flakes. I mean, I don't have anything on me that I can use that with right now. I need like a test tube or a vacuum sealed container, maybe.
I procure one. I'm sure it's pretty easy to procure one.
Perfect. Yeah, when they get me situated, hit me up.
All right. There, move your finger. Spoop. I put it on backwards.
I kind of like it.
All right. Well, now you got a backwards pinky. That's what you get for distracting me.
You know how much? I mean, honestly, this is just more convenient for powder.
All right, I'm out of here. Idiot.
Yeah, all right. Well, so thank you. And back to the rest of the party. What are you guys up to? Are you ready to connect with Laris?
I believe so.
Yes.
All right. So
Yes.
the Spirit of Sheer Cat docks with the mothership, which is a massive warship again. As it's in the diaspora, it is alongside another almost as large, if not slightly larger, warship, which you guys know as the Infinitum, which has been renamed into the. Did Saber not rename it something yet, or has that not been revealed?
I don't think it's been revealed.
Nope.
No. Okay. I'll let that one slide then. For now, it's the Infinitum. And the Burning Eclipse, Dren's old ship, has the repairs have been started on that. And they've come along a long ways. It's been months since they had made that deal because that was a flashback we did for that. So the Burning Eclipse, those are the three primary ships from your kind of involvement. You're not the only arm of this rebellion, but this is your little task force. You've got these three major ships, a whole host of smaller fighters and frigates for the mothership pirates. You've got the Spirit of Shirket, your four mecha, and that's kind of your small resources just in this little area of the universe. You have some other contacts that are kind of untapped, and as you decide to meet up with Laris, you all head to the bridge of the mothership. He kind of ushers you back to maybe there's a conference room, I think, a little bit back away from the command, the bridge, and he sets you guys up and says, for those of you who haven't met Laris before, he is a gnome who suffers from alopecia, so is completely hairless. But he wears, admiral style gear, trying to make himself look a little bit bigger than he is sometimes. And he kind of comes to you guys and he says, I know, Destinian can be a bit of a handful. I sometimes more than a handful. I got little hand. And I just wanted to say thank you. You've all done me. You've done me right. This is bigger than you know. I feel like a part of me has been missing for 8 months, and well, it's back.
Is it a pinky? Because we might have a spare one.
I'm gonna let that one go. I wanted to say thank you. I owe you one, and that's a personal owe you one.
You're very welcome. It's always good to do good by people, except for people that don't deserve it. Then we kill them. I mean, if what?
You're a right bunch of pirates. You are. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just a ship's mechanic.
Yeah. Okay. Now that you're finding and capturing Mr. someone involved in some of the shadier ends of what the Border Space Union was up to, and now the Triumvirate, I think we've got some leverage. You can take him with you if you want, or you can leave him with us. We can get him set up here. Keep him under permanent watch, lock and key. We'll do some of our own interrogations, maybe, see what we can get from him. But I think it might be time to start gathering the forces, gathering this resistance that we've been collecting across the Pact worlds in bits and pieces, patches and more patches. I think it's time to start pulling them all together. What say you guys? Are you?
Oh yeah. What can we do to help?
Let's kick ass.
Well, so we know that Ray Shorin is the face of this little rebellion, this resistance movement we've got going.
Don't remind him, please.
And I was thinking we might make the whole of the Spirit of Shirket a bit of a flagship. I want to get everyone gathered. I know you have the Vermilion Blur, who had set up over on Where was he? Was he on Triaxis as well? He might have been on Triaxis.
No, he was on. What was Brawl's home planet?
He left Verces. He left Verces for a secret base that I believe was on Triaxis. The last time you guys saw him was on Verces, though. Yes. Why do I think it was Triaxis? I'm gonna go with Triaxis. Right, because they had their own. Is that where the Rhypherions are from, Justin?
Triaxis? I don't know. I can't remember. I think
Rhypherion Starfinder. I believe it was the same planet wherever they're from.
I'm pretty sure it's Triaxis. That's the one with the really, really, really long seasons, right?
It could
yes.
be. Let me try Triaxis. And I just want to see if that's where the right. Nope, that didn't work. Okay, I don't know.
Rhyphorians, I got them right here.
Oh, I was spelling it wrong. Sure.
Yep, they are Triaxis.
Perfect. All right, yeah, that's where their home base was. So there used to be another military group, basically central to Triaxis. It was a lot like the Stewards, but Triaxis Central. I do not have the name of that group right in front of me. Oh god, there's a lot of stuff on this, but it's not super specific to what I want. But either way, these kind of militant-minded folks, they were some of the first members of the Vermilion Blur's resistance because they don't take kindly to the Veskarium being given stewardship of their planet. So they have a secret base hidden in the jungles of Triaxis. And that's where you guys have contact, or you have a way to get in touch with the Vermilion Blur there. Loris continues, we would be willing maybe to leave the Diaspora and head to Triaxis to meet up with the Vermilion Blur's arm of things. Or we could try and invite them here. I don't really have a preference. Either way, I just need you all to head out and connect with him. And we start bringing our pieces together, and maybe we can start moving on these triumvirate bastards. I know you said Mister's intel was outdated, but maybe we can use some of the other stuff he gives us to force them out into the open, if you know what I mean. Maybe now is the time to strike before they find out where we are in the Diaspora, before they unleash whatever horrible decision they have coming out of their think tank next.
You might be able to make use of my old crew. Still technically my crew. If they should know of a man named Nazaram, I suggest that you look into his whereabouts.
Nazaram. All right, I haven't heard of him, but who is he? Why would he help us?
He knows a thing or two about the BSU. He might have been a direct link to me in carrying out some of the things that they needed done.
That's the one that he was at Saltazar's place.
Yeah, the one who walked out.
Wait, one of the Inquisitors?
Yep.
Oh, so you don't mean friend, but maybe another resource we could bait out into the open?
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't mind giving the what for to the Inquisitors. They're some of our biggest opposition while we're out here in the Diaspora. Yeah, I think that's something we could figure out. I'd like to put the full force you've got kind of behind you together, though. I want to focus on that first. I mean, if you disagree, I'm not going to argue with you. But we can only do so much. I mean, we're a bunch of space pirates. We got your fleet, maybe. I mean, that's a bit of a stretch, but we've got ships for you. We don't have ground forces. I was hoping the Vermilion Blur might be able to supply those.
On Triaxis, isn't that also where the main Vesk is?
Yeah. Yeah, Oda Shen, based on your intel from Mister, and honestly, it lines up with the expectations. That's where the new Vesk colony has been created.
Dusty, just a point of reference. It was Oda Shen that put the hit on Miller, right?
Yeah, I can give you a little bit more point of reference. It was her
Uh,
son who had a V name. I think it was like Vargas or something like that. He was the very first person I think Miller killed. He was the Vesk that was guarding the Indecision before it was the Indecision. He had found it first in the Dead Dome in
Yeah.
season 1. You guys fought him, eliminated him, and then stole the ship and made it your own. That murder is what caused Oda Shen to put the hit out because that was her son. But yeah, she's the head of the Veskarium representatives for the Triumvirate. She is head of Triaxis now. She's kind of the sovereign. She put the hit out on Miller, which is to say hired Krellis. And yeah, all sorts of fun stuff.
All right. At the sound of Oda Shen, Miller just kind of picks up low, says, yeah, maybe there's something that we should look into here on tree axis.
I mean, I'm not saying no to a bit of sightseeing if it suits you. I will warn you, be very careful if you're going into Vesk Central. If I had to guess, the folks that are settling the colony or have settled the colony probably aren't farmers and, you know, nice folk.
That's all right.
But yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'd like you to reach out to the Vermilion Blur, meet up with them on Triaxis, and then figure out how they want to connect with us. And maybe we can pull in some other resources. We got the Ouroboros pirates out in the vast. I know we've been working with Captain Sally to get these mechs ship shape for you guys, and it seems like that went pretty well. Yeah, they were functional, except
Oh,
for
they were great.
I
We
guess
just need weapons.
Dren's must have had some sort of malfunction, maybe.
Yeah, we'll go
Not
with that.
particularly designed well.
Oh, all right.
And,
Well,
I can see that it's a prototype.
I can always draft up some blueprints. I'm an accomplished engineer.
well, I mean, I'd put you in touch with Captain Sally, and about weapons. Um, I mean, she might know more about where they keep the weapons for these things. I'm not sure. It's obviously been a long time since she's been a part of the Border Space Union, but we could probably start that conversation when we get them gathered. I've already put the call out to have her gather her forces to join us in the diaspora. Um, let's see. Do you guys have anyone else that you think we should be pulling together for this meet?
You got Sal's number, yeah?
Yeah, that's a good call. Sal's a good neutral ground. We'll get that little Yosoki on board too.
Yeah.
What became of Chimera?
Oh right, your friend you on where are the Lashunta from? Castrovel. Your friend on Castrovel. We never got in touch with this Chimera, but I think you guys had a way to contact her, right? Maybe don't need to make a meet. You can probably do that over the phone.
Look at
Because out of character, did wasn't there something that she was doing too? Wasn't she also starting some sort of resistance thing?
No.
Or was
She
she
was more.
hiding?
She was in hiding, but she was also looking into like the deep wilderness of Castrovel for something that she could use. Or help you use potentially against the BSU. Again, she's feeling slighted for a number of reasons by the BSU.
I don't even know what happened to Alden Stoyer yet.
Nope, you do not know what happened to Alden Stoyer yet. So yeah, right now what we've got, and Chris, I don't know if you're keeping a running tab, but these are your resistance figureheads for now. You've got Captain Sally of the Ouroboros Pirates, Laris, obviously, of the Mothership, and I can't remember, we gave them a name, it was kind of generic, like the Collective or something, I think is what their pirate name was. Oh, you know what, it was something to do with pistol. Were they calling themselves the Pistalians? Is that what they did? Is that what they settled on?
That sounds familiar.
Wasn't the
That was the team.
aliens for
Yeah. That was the team, the Blitzer Ball team. But I think they took that name as their pirate crew name once.
Well, the collective was the arena, right?
Yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry. I think it's the Pistalians is what these pirates were kind of dubbing themselves.
That was
A lot of these were
Larissa's-
expats.
That was Larissa's.
Yeah, Laris. Yeah,
They
Laris.
spelled like pissed aliens.
Yeah, like Pistalians. Pystaliens. Pistalians. So that's their pirate. You got the Ouroboros pirates run by Captain
down.
Sally. You have Chimera, who has resources. Chimera right now, for you guys, as far as you know, is resources. And you may have some additional support on Castrovel. You guys are.
Somebody not me should recommend Brawl.
Oh, we do have Brawl.
Brawl's
you-
more of an
you guys-
operative and less of a player. I'm not saying you guys
Still a
can't-
Though
contact.
his sister was very smart and also part
Yeah,
of the
and
resistance.
competent.
That she was also working with
He was
the Vermilion
also
Blur.
quite a looker. Am I right, bro? Oh.
Oh, but she was
Um,
working with the Vermilion Blur as well.
yeah,
I wonder
it's
if they're
probably
still
worth-
doing anything.
It's probably worth reaching out. Maybe, yeah. Again, I'm looking for bigger picture, but sure, we can put the call out to Verses while you guys are on the way there. And then you got the Vermilion Blur and his troops. Is there anyone else we're missing?
No,
Sal.
I've listened to my fair share of space radio.
Yeah,
I know that those two radio hosts seem to be a bit anti-space union.
sure. Yeah. I mean, that's why they're hosted out here in the Diaspora now instead of Absalom Station. Sure. Yeah. Are you looking to recruit disc jockeys now?
It's always good to have a voice.
Yeah, I'm okay with them being a part of the propaganda arm. Sure. I totally forgot their names, guys.
Arakarsh and Skip.
Yeah, Arakarsh and Skip
Space Screamer and Halfbeat.
from our radio promo we did before the season 1 launch. Yeah, okay. We've got the disc jockeys for some propaganda when we need them. That's not a bad idea, especially if we get more material off of Mister possibly.
What is Dren's pirate group?
The Burning Eclipse. And then you also have Notsob has a crew of goblins, a warship, chock blocka full of goblins. Right
Oh,
now,
wow.
you guys know as the Infinitum.
I'm wondering if there is actually people that we're missing or not, because I think we've gone over most.
I'm
that's-
going. If I knew them, I would have mentioned them, but I'm using Laris not knowing as my
Yes.
my cover for not remembering what we've done.
All right, I'll just run down the list that I got so far. I got Captain Sally and the Ouroboros Pirates, Laris, the Mothership Pirates, Pistalians,
Yep.
Chimera, she's a Lashuta, she's got resources. The Vermilion Blur, he's got ground troops. Salsco, just Salsco. Arakash Skip, they're DJs. The Burning Eclipse, that is Dren stuff. And then Not Sob and Goblin Ilk.
Yeah, all right. You got a rugged band. I guess your mission right now, Laris continues. Your mission right now is to head to Triaxis, connect with your folks there, and set up a meet.
Yep.
And then from there,
Mission accepted.
we figure out what's your first target among the triumvirate. If it's Otis Shen versus maybe Derlith Gerson himself, I think once we're all gathered, we can make a better play.
Yes.
All right. You guys all gather on. In terms of travel for Triaxis, this is something you guys are going to have to do a little bit under the radar. The Spirit of Shirket has had enough modifications done, basically because of pirates, that you don't show up the same on transponders, and the shape of the ship has been altered enough that your ship itself no longer has that same immediate recognition it used to. It's kind of like how while in Firefly, Serenity is a particular ship. it's one of many. It's not something that because it's a Firefly they knew immediately it was Serenity. You guys have now hit that status. Your ship is still unique, but it's not so much so known or associated with the original Pact Breakers or your rebellion now. So you can take that. I think Larissa would recommend not taking your mecha along because you are trying to stay as undercover as possible in terms of that. But otherwise, you guys are set to go to Triaxis. What do you do with Terry and Terry, who has been working the guns in the Spirit of Shirket? And what do you do with Forenses?
Frenzies was not useful. Is that correct?
Correct.
He just wants to die.
Well, we don't want him to die. I would say I can't imagine there's any reason for Forensies to join us. Maybe they can find. No, that's a pirate crew, right?
It is a pirate crew. Yep.
Why don't we ask Francis? Why don't we ask him?
Oh yeah, because he has a history of knowing what's best for him.
Well, he might want to do something. Let's give him a chance to do what he wants.
He probably wants to stay
I
with
read
his
into
dad.
the future. I would like to die.
Did you say that to me?
No, I was joking. That was out of character.
From the shadows where Francis was lurking, little to your knowledge.
And goes, ha!
Actually, Grandma says I'm not allowed to die outside of the crawling chaos. So,
Can you be useful in combat this
No.
time?
no, I was thinking I'd hang out with the pirates.
Sounds good to me. Let him have fun with the pirates. They have a really cool VR thing.
Can I think of any common sense reasons why that would be a bad idea?
They're pirates.
They are in fact pirates. So far, they've been really decent allies for you, but that is up to you to translate as far as you want. But I would say probably not. Again, these are effectively your allies. They were originally, most of them were originally from Pistol, and they formed up the Pistalians as pirate gang after Pistol was destroyed. During and after its destruction, there was a little bit of a diaspora of unsavory elements over time.
Okay.
They've been nothing but accommodating to us, and we've had good relations with them. I'm sure Francis will be fine. He'll have fun.
I think I'd like to hang out with Justinian even. He seemed pretty cool too.
Okay, he's coming with us. The kid's coming with us. That's the end of that discussion. Sorry, Francis, this is for your own good. Go to your room.
All right. As he walks by Terry, I never get to hang out with the pirates, and he goes and hangs out in his room. All right. As you guys are setting up to head to Triaxis, any final comments as we wrap up the episode? Because we're going to pick up here in 2 weeks' time.
Seventh still with us, right?
Seventh, yeah.
We have our full crew now.
Notsob, Rex, Terry are all members of your crew and functionally replace you guys while you're piloting the mechs. So they are apart unless you are feeling like traveling light. You can opt to remove them, but you got to choose so now. Okay, perfect. Yeah, you got the full complement of the crew.
Yeah.
Any parting remarks at all?
Guess I should start working on this gun, huh?
Shoot. You were gonna say something?
I already did.
Yeah.
I thought Patrick was gonna say something.
No, I said please do.
Oh, please do. From inside the pouch where you've kind of shoved it, says, yeah, but seriously, more memory, guys. I could be, I think, more useful.
Yeah.
Uh,
What do I get?
and we'll have the final scene be kind of the camera panning to Sobernaut, who is just sitting in the back of the engine room looking at his pile of hats, and there's like a single tear rolling down his face as one of his favorites was absconded with and cut upon by Ray Shorin of Rice Oven LLC.
Oh, that's gonna come back to haunt you. Oh no.
Everything comes back to haunt me.
I also haven't had a grand reunion with my buddy Sabernaut.
we can have that next episode. I think
Yeah.
will be good. We'll have a little bit of travel, but for the most part, I'll fast forward you guys right to Tree Axis. So for next week, again, we're doing our Let's Party, which is when we're doing Let's Play style games. We'll be playing Star Wars: The Old Republic. You guys should all try and convince Chris in the Discord to join us because he gets easily addicted, and I'm trying to get him some Jedi space crack. Hang out for that. That'll be same day, same time, same channel. Tuesday.
I believe that's called Foresight.
Yeah, that's the one. And then the week after that, we'll be back to Starfinder. We will be hanging out on Triaxis, which is a canonical planet in the Starfinder universe, but I'm sure I will have homebrewed it to partial recognition. Until we get there next time, just remember, guys, never split the party.
Yeah, Dustin.
Yeah, Dustin.
You left for like
Patrick.
5 minutes.
It's true, he did.
True.
Yeah, Dustin.
My rabbit was eating my cord. He was literally eating my Ethernet cord that runs
I
out to my.
completely forgot.